everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new then hello, my name is Caitlin, welcome, and today I am updating my No Pans Left Behind project pan. I adore this project pan. If you don't know what it is, every month I work on 2 or 3 eyeshadow palettes depending on what my progress is, and I use every single shade in that palette at least one time. I take pictures of all the looks that I make and I come back next month, share my progress with you and completely randomize another eyeshadow palette to work on over the next month. I love this project because it allows me to explore my collection, specifically my eyeshadow collection, which gets so neglected, and it gives me the chance to play around with my products without having a huge hefty hit pan goal or a huge usage goal, and it also lets me play with the entire palette and not just one shade. So we are rolling 2 palettes out today. We are only rolling 1 in, and I will explain later on in the video why. But just before we jump into it, if you have not already, please like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I do this update every single month, as well as so many other project pans, get ready with me's, and shop my stashes. All that good fun stuff. But yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first palette I want to talk about is this bad boy. This is my That's Taupe palette from Colourpop, and I said this last month, but so many people were surprised that I owned this palette because my makeup tastes and aesthetics are pretty bold, pretty loud, normally quite colourful. So yeah, this palette was a little bit of a shock in my collection, but I do wear neutrals quite often in my everyday life, but yeah, I only had a few shades to wear in this palette and we knocked them out the park in one look. So let me move over so you can see the look that I did. The picture isn't the best picture in the world, so I apologise about that, but I will walk you through the shades now. So I decided to mix Python, which is this taupe shade here, and Rocksteady together in the crease. I did start with a darker brown though from my Pan That palette in the direct crease. Sorry, I just lightened the camera up a little bit. Hopefully I fix it all in post. But I mixed Python and Rocksteady, these 2 corner shades in my crease. They are very, very similar shades. So I blended the really dark brown that I used first with those 2. I then put Constrictor on the outer V, just to blend the darker and lighter colours, and I also put Cold Blooded all over the lid to make like a really smoky, grungy, sultry kind of neutral look, and I really enjoyed it. I did put Colourpop Ritz, the Super Shock shadow, all over the lid because of course I did. It's what I'm wearing on top of my gold shadow today. I try and use Ritz whenever I can because it just makes me so unbelievably happy to just tap all that sparkly goodness over my eyes. It was beautiful. So yeah, this is the more neutral look that I did this month. Very, you know, very neutral, and that completes the That's Taupe palette. So that will be rolling out. So the second palette that we were working on this month is my beloved Subculture palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I have loved pulling this out. There's a bit of fluff on it. I have loved pulling this out and reaching for it. It is one of my favourite palettes in my collection. I was overjoyed when we rolled this in last month, and we managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4 beautiful looks out of this palette. So let me talk you through look number 1. It is more of a neutral look with a pop of greeny yellow, which I loved. I loved this look so much. So first of all, I used Dawn to set the lid. This was just a gimme shade. If there's like a lid setting shade, I have no issue just reaching for that to set the lid on my first look, but I am trying to finish off Tempera in my Modern Renaissance, so I did only use this shade once, and that was for this look. Then I put Rowdy in the direct crease, and I blended it out with Mercury, which is this more like pale grey taupe shade, to make like a really smoky crease. I love these 2 shades together. I think they work so beyond beautifully together. They just make my heart so happy. Then of course I put Electric on the lid. This is my favourite shade from this palette, and I think so many other people can agree that this shade is so beautiful. So of course I had to use it in the first look that I did with this palette. I'm really close to hitting pan on it, and normally I love hitting pan on eyeshadows. I am a project panner, but I'm so sad that I'm nearly hitting pan on this because I don't want to hit pan on it. I just love it so much, but I know one day I will have to say goodbye. And then just to top it off, I added edge on the inner corner, and I think it made like a really beautiful pop. I did add a shimmery yellow that isn't from this palette on top of that just to make it pop a little bit more, but I think it just added the like yellowy greeniness and it made Electric pop a little bit more. I really, really enjoyed this look. It was so beautiful. It was one of those looks that I didn't want to take off at the end of the day, but I knew I had to, and that was the first look with this palette. Okay, the second look I did with this palette was definitely my favourite look from the month. I have a hair in my mouth. It was definitely my favourite look. This is what it looked like. It was a beautiful cut crease. So I did start with a black. I actually have a tutorial up on this look. So I have a full get ready with me, and I also have a YouTube shorts. I will link them both. Actually, no I won't. I'll link them in the cards. So this is the short video that I did. It's like a 30-second speed tutorial, and then I'll also link the full get ready with me with this look because it deserves some love. It is a beautiful look, and as many people need to see it as humanly possible. So there you go. So I started with a black, of course. I love starting with blacks. I used a black to start today. Then I put Axis. I blended it out with Axis. Then I used Untamed. That made it more like grungy, green, fit in the theme of this palette. And then I added New Wave on top of that. I love blending blue, green, yellow. I think it is beautiful. It reminds me of like an electricity kind of vibe. And I just knew I had to do this kind of look with this palette while I could. And it was just one of my favourite looks. It was so beautiful. So then I cut the crease. I added Cube on the like cut crease area, which was just so beautiful. I loved it so much. Again, I did not want to take this look off at the end of the day. It had me by my heartstrings, but alas, I had to in the end. Then of course I just like did loads of glitter, put glitter all over the cut crease, did a glitter liner. Just so beautiful. The next look was definitely more of a neutral look. But I still loved it anyway. I started with All Star, which is this more warm toned, kind of dark brick red kind of shade. It is so beautiful. Then I blended that out with Roxy. These two, I thought they would blend a lot better than they did. They needed a lot of work to blend together, but once they did, they were beautiful. So, I mean, whatever. It's just like a little bit of extra work, it's fine. And then I just topped it off. I can't even remember what I topped it off with. I don't know. It wasn't from this palette though, the lid shade. I definitely used Ritz on top, again, of course. But I used a different shade on the lid. I'm not quite sure what shade that was. I'm so sorry. I know what it is. I know what it is. I lied. I know exactly what it is. It was from the Modern Renaissance palette. It was like the dark satin shade. I can't remember what it is. I'll put it on screen now. And then finally, this is the last look. So I'll kind of move to the middle because this is the look. I don't have a picture because I'm just filming this video. So like I said, I started with a black. Then I put Fudge, which is this darker brown shade. I blended the black out with that. Then I added Destiny. Destiny is definitely my least favourite shade in this palette. It doesn't come across as green, really. I'm looking in my mirror. It comes across as more grey than green on my eyes. I don't know, I just really don't like Destiny very much. It's not very pigmented either, so yeah, I don't like that. And then on the middle of my halo eye, I've got Adorn. Oh my god, I love Adorn. I love this shade so much. It's so beautiful. Of course, I have topped it off with Ritz. Duh, of course. But yeah, this look is, I don't know. I'm not too sure about this look. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you like it? Do you not? I think it's a little bit too much, but this is my channel, so we don't know when too much is too much. Then the third palette that I was working on is my She Glam Chromosome palette, and unfortunately I have not touched this once. I think because the Subculture has such a similar colour story to this, it just got a little bit much. You can see they're very, 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 very similar. So, yeah, unfortunately, I have not touched this palette this month, and that is why I'm only rolling in one new palette, because I have a whole palette that I have not touched yet. Okay, so I'm going into my Tiny Decisions app. I am going to make some rules. If it's like more than a 20 pan palette, I am going to roll again. I know that might be cheating, but I'm working on a pan that palette and I'm working on pan those eyeshadows, and I really want to get those done by the end of the year, specifically the pan that palette. But I'm working really hard on those two projects, so if I get like a mega monstrous palette, I don't really want to work on it. And I'm not going to work on any of my singles, and if a palette has been rolled into this project recently, then I'll probably roll again. So, eyeshadow. Are we ready? I'm always so scared about this. I never like this. It makes me so... Oh, ABH Soft Glam. Okay, I'm gonna roll again just because I'm working on... I don't know, it's one of the repeat shades from the Soft Glam in my Pan Those eyeshadows, and I feel like the Soft Glam is very, very repetitive, and I feel like it'll take away from my Pan Those eyeshadow shade. So I am actually going to roll again. I know some people may find that as cheating, but I'm sorry. Well, She Glam Chromazone I am actually already working on, so thank you for that. I'm going to roll again because clearly we're not having the best of luck. Okay, oh Jesus. Mardi Gras is like a 45 pan eyeshadow palette. I really don't want to work on that. I'm really sorry. Oh my god, that is a singles palette. I need to sort this spreadsheet thing out. It is ridiculous. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna keep rolling because it's just rolling in things that I can't really work on. Okay, finally. Lion King's Scar palette. I really, really like this palette actually, and it has been neglected since I bought it. So I'm going to go grab that and I'm going to be right back. It took us a while, but we got there in the end, okay? We got there. Okay, so I'm back and I have my palette. This is the Lion King Circle of Life palette. It has Scar on the front. And this is what the inside looks like. I have used the Nala palette before. I think that's called the Jungle Princess. That has been in this project before. I got some really, really beautiful looks out of it. But this is the palette I prefer from those two, and it's The Lion King. If you don't know, The Lion King is my favourite film ever. You can see my little Oliver up there. I love lions. I love The Lion King. So yeah, and it's not khaki. I feel like both of these palettes will work really, really nicely together. So yeah, I'm really excited to be giving this bad boy a little bit of a tryout. I think I've only used it 3 times maybe, so yeah, that'd be really nice. So that is the end of this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. Let me know what your favourite look was. Mine was definitely that glitter cut crease. I think about it every night when I go to bed. I just love it. I love it so much. Let me know if you're doing this project as well because I would love to check you out. But I hope you have an incredible day and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!